Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S, and we are looking at a rifle today, or a rifle scope, I should say. This is the AIM Sports Alpha 6 Series 1-6x24 rifle scope. So this has a zoom magnification between 1 and 6 times magnification with a 24-inch or 24mm glass at one end. This can be a little confusing on this one. It took us a minute on this just because we were looking at it, and if you look at this, you would assume, just given the shape of the scope right here, that you would look through this end and this would be the end furthest away from you, because that's how you're typically used to seeing scopes. But it's not for this one. You look through the wide end, and the tiny end, or the thinner end, is what is down weapon. So on the setup, if we were to put this on a gun, it would sit up like this on here. All right, so the wide end you're looking through, this is a 30mm lens down here, or glass, and this is a 24 down here. And we sat and looked at this thing for a couple seconds looking through this side, and we're like, man, something's not right here. And then one of the guys upstairs decided to turn it around and everything was normal. So if you happen to pick one of these up, they are good scopes, but you're gonna look through the big end. Now, that's just was a little weird, but it looks great inside there. So again, we've got a 1 to 6 times magnification with this large rotating ring, which is very nice to turn. It's got a thumb rest on it so that you can put your thumb on there and rotate. Rotation is smooth. Magnification is good, 1 to 6. You do need to find that eye relief space, so make sure you set this up on the weapon at full zoom and furthest away, and then start slowly, set up how you're going to shoot, and then slowly bring this back towards your eye until your field of view widens out and fills up the entire glass. You'd be very careful if you get these too close to your face when you're out there shooting. If you were putting it on a real weapon, the recoil of the gun could hit you in the face and it could cut your eyebrow. So you want to make sure that you give yourself the maximum eye relief, which is the distance from the back end of the scope to your eyeball. I mean, you should not be like sticking this thing up to your eye like that and trying to shoot through it. You need to find that maximum eye relief to give you the maximum safety distance right there. If you're using this for airsoft, there's not a lot of kick in airsoft, so that's a whole different story. But for a real weapon, you'd be very careful with that. We have a 0 to 11 brightness indicator on there. So if you look on the side right here, this rotates between 0 and 11 as far as brightness inside. And it is a red reticle on there. I think it's the, what is it called? The CQM or
CQ1 MOA.
The CQ1 MOA reticle on the inside, which kind of looks like a T shape up with a long bar across, and then different segment length bars going down below that. And yes, and it is a lit up reticle, so glows red on the inside there. Nice thing about this one also, it has the ability to adjust windage and elevation just with your thumbs. You don't need like a screwdriver or anything like that, which you do on a lot of scopes. And it can lock down, so it's easy to move. You can lift up and push down. You can see that I'm just lifting that away. That locks it down, but I can pull it up, and then I can rotate, and then I can lock down. If I need to just make quick adjustments, lift up, turn it a couple notches, lock it down. Lift up, turn, lock it down. Makes it super simple to make adjustments quickly on the fly. You don't need to pull a cap off, put a screwdriver into it and turn it a couple turns, put the cap back on. You don't need to do any of that stuff. Lift, rotate, drop it down. So very, very nice. Super heavy construction. The aluminum on this is awesome. It's hefty, it's not lightweight. Don't expect to throw this thing on and feel like a feather, because it does not feel like a feather. Especially when you're loading it up with a bunch of other stuff on there, you can really get your weapon feeling quite heavy. But this one is cool. A little tricky when we first looked at it, but the clarity and zoom on it is fantastic. So the AIM Sports Alpha 6 1 to 6 times zoom 24mm lens, or 30mm, depending on what side you're looking at. Lit up reticle. It's available through the website. There is a ton of aim sport scopes and sights on the website, so just go through them all and check it out. One thing to remind you about this one, it does not come with scope rings. So if you pick this one up, you will need to pick up scope rings as well in order to mount it up to whatever thing you're putting it on. No scope rings, available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.